Abigail Blackrick. Today on Mackinaw Island, speaking with Trish Martin, who started a pretty special event here on Mackinaw Island, the Blessing of the Animals. Tell me about how it was started.
Well, about 10 years ago, I got to thinking and talking with some of my horse friends and others that how many people now make their living with horses here on the island. In the old days, they used to do a blessing of the waters for all the people who were working on the boats and fishing, particularly in this area. And while that sort of has faded away to a large extent, we still have a lot of people who make their living driving horses or renting horses or working with the animals. So I thought, well, you know, at the beginning of the summer, it would be a good idea to have a blessing of the horses, particularly. And then I thought, well, why limit it to horses? We like dogs and cats and other things too. So we decided to do a blessing of the animals. And the other reason is for my friend right here. This is Gray. And he's my old horse, and he's a little accident prone, has a tendency to do silly things to himself and get autoimmune skin diseases and do all sorts of strange things. So I thought he needed all the blessings he could get.
Absolutely. So this is just one way of making sure that the animals here on the island are in good spirits.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So who all is the blessing available to, and who all participates? Is it primarily people who live on the island, or do people come from all over?
Mainly it's people who are here on the island, or sometimes we have folks that are coming up for the parade and maybe they'll bring their horses with them, and so they'll bring those guys down to the blessing. Or sometimes we've had dog groups that have come in, the leader
Leader Dogs for the Blind
group, or Greyhound rescue groups or whatever, and they'll bring a few dogs in, you know, for that and to walk in the parade, so they may be here for that. So it's kind of fun. It's a little bit of a mix.
Hello there, buddy. He's so friendly. So the Blessing of the Animals, you said, was started a few years ago. How have you seen it grown and expand since it was started?
Well, it's changed quite a bit. We've actually turned it into more of a straight service for the most part. We used to do a lot of talking about various riding programs and things on the island, but we decided we would really keep it to the blessing of the animals themselves and focusing on that. So it's changed in some ways in that we have a lot more people come. I mean, when we first started, I think we had maybe 20 or so, and then now we're getting 40 to 60 people show up for the event, so it's grown a lot. And the nice folks who run the Little Barn, which is one of the riding programs here on the island, always bring out lemonade and cookies and give people barn tours while they're down there waiting. And so that's been kind of fun to have as well. And we've included, in most years, we have a number of different people from the different churches help with the program. And so, yeah, it's grown and evolved, and we include some of the kids read poems or such about animals and what they mean to them. And
terrific. Really, so you said that there's quite the variety of animals, dogs, cats, horses. What's the most unique animal that you've blessed?
Well, we've had a couple really interesting ones. We've had a pot-bellied pig that somebody brought down, and I know more people are having those now, but it was kind of unusual. We had a turtle, which I thought was quite good. So those are probably the most unique ones that we have had. Nobody's brought a snake yet. I'm waiting for that.
Hopefully no one will ever bring a skunk.
Well, unless they've been fixed. I don't want to deal.
So how have you seen this Blessing of the Animals now become a pivotal part in the Lilac Festival that's held here on Mackinaw Island?
Well, you know, it started sort of a bit very casually, and now it is one of the things that some people purposely come to see or to be part of. And it's interesting because Blessing of the Animals used to happen much more frequently in rural communities and such at various times in the year. I know friends of mine belong to a hunt club, and they used to always do at the beginning of the fox hunting season. They'd have always a blessing of the horses before the season began, and they'd be, you know, running foxes and coyotes and things like that. And so that used to be quite a tradition in rural communities, and that sort of faded away with horses not being as integral to the lives of
Right.
people as they are
But here
now.
on Mackinaw Island, they are an integral part.
Yeah, as a friend of mine once said, if we didn't have horses on Mackinac Island, we'd be just another island.
Absolutely, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Trish, so much for joining me today.
Mhm. Oh, you're welcome. And hope you enjoy the rest of the Lilac Festival here.
Absolutely, we will. Thank
All
you.
right.
On Mackinaw Island, I'm Abigail Blackrick with My News 26.